troubleshooting high CPU issues in Azure VM or whatever it may be, normal VMs also.
గాట్ ఇట్ అది ఇక్కడ ఇది వస్తుంది ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది
Hello.
గాట్ ఇట్ కొట్టు
Hmm.
రికార్డింగ్ పాపప్ వస్తుంది
It's already recording.
అదే మెసేజ్ వస్తుంది డాష్ బోర్డ్ మీద అక్కడ గాట్ ఇట్ ఆర్ లీవ్ మీటింగ్ అని వస్తుంది అక్కడ ఆప్షన్ గాట్ ఇట్ అని ఇవ్వాలి
You can select got it.
అది నాది కాదు నీదే
You can select yours.
ఓకే ఓకే ఇప్పుడు అయ్యిందిలే
Troubleshooting high CPU issues in Azure VM. In this, we'll go with theoretically first and then we'll go with practically. Basic tools to troubleshoot. Normally, if any VM or any desktop or any other computers which has reported issues like CPU high utilization, will do these steps normally. These are the few tools which we are going to discuss. One is Task Manager, and then we have another Resource Monitor, and we have one more tool called Perf Mode, and Xperf from Windows ADK Toolkit, and we have another tools from the Microsoft which is called Sysinternal Tools. Example, Procmon, Process Explorer. This is the tool which we are going to discuss today in Azure VM. It is called Perf Insights, which is usually the Microsoft will provide us to troubleshoot the Azure virtual machines. And basic troubleshooting steps which we are going to perform normally if any end user has reported the CPU utilization issues or CPU performance issues or any others. We'll first do the reboot the machine and we'll disable the background applications which are not in use. So we are going to disable those applications which are not in use. And then disable the prefetch services. If any unwanted services which are running inside the virtual machine, we are going to stop those services. So that will do again I will again verify the CPU performance and memory performance and everything, so that we get to know. And one more command we have SFC scan now by using command prompt or PowerShell. We will perform this command to scan the virtual machine. If any malwares or malicious are there, we'll get to know, so that we'll go and delete those files or we'll try to recover those files by using any other applications. So, and after that, we have like a disable antivirus or anti-malware software. Sometimes this may be cause the issue of CPU utilizations. And last one is verify if any backup services are running. Sometimes what will happen, backend the backup is running, because of that maybe it has utilizing more bandwidth to transfer the image from here to the backup server. So because of that services, it may be affected the VM. So we need to verify these services. And if any user has reported that the CPU utilization is more, so performance issues, we need to primarily question the user. Primary questions to be asked with the reporter of the issue. Is there any specific time the issue is occurring? Have any code changes happened recently? Because if any code changes happened recently, maybe debugging issues or any other issues will come on the CPU and the utilization will increase more. So because of that, we'll go and ask this with the user end. And third one is, we need to check any recent updates, Windows updates or application patches which has been updated, any maintenance activity has performed recently. We need to check with the user. And we need to verify in that particular mission, is there any IAS server services is hosted to publish an application or any web application, any database, or any other services which we have published by using IAS services. We need to check that. And one more point, if in that particular server, is there any Microsoft SharePoint as installed? I mean, is it SharePoint application server published or SQL server as installed? Or any other third-party applications hosted on that particular machine? We need to get this information from the user, and based on that, we'll go and troubleshoot the issue. And if any SQL server, if any queries are happening on the back end, we need to verify that, because sometimes the indexing which they are performing, it may be in old query, so it is not performing on the new updated server. So sometimes it may be affected the issue of indexing also. And next one, we need to verify DevOps side. Is there any new code as deployment happening? If any, they are going to deploying any code from the backend on the particular server, or any they are going to publishing the code by using that particular machine. So we'll face an slowness in the virtual machine. And we need to verify, or there any changes in SKU or VM type that has happened recently. So we need to verify this actually. Any changes like related to VM, any size of the VM has changed, or any particular configuration settings which has been changed, we need to verify from the user. And have any load balance changes, because sometimes we maybe use availability sets load balancers, because front end there may be some different IP address, and back end there may be different IP address which is connected to the servers. So we need to verify that first. If we are getting any, sometimes there may be a terminal servers which we are going to access the servers, and from there we are going to access the applications. Inside the terminal servers, there may be services which are running remote desktop services, which we have been published on that particular servers to connect with the multiple users. So maybe it has exceeded more than the enabled user limit. So the user maybe faced the issue. So we need to log in, and we need to verify how many users has connected with that particular machine, and how many users are in active state, how many users are in disabled state. We'll go and disconnect those accounts which are not in active, and we'll ask user to check again the performance of the CPU. So that is the one pass. And known issues, normally known issues which are we need to be verified. So particularly these are the known issues which are we need to verify, like RDP agent, maybe remote desktop services agent, which we earlier we discussed in the last one. Maybe if the services or the users are increased, or any other ports are disabled, or anything on the configuration, we need to verify that. So one more thing, if monitoring services occupying more CPU utilization to monitor the particular virtual machine, we need to verify those services which are running on the VM. MMA agent, this is also one of the agent to monitor those services. And security clients like antivirus or any other applications which we have installed on the machine, we need to verify that it may be occupying the more space or more CPU or core usages or memory usages. We need to verify this. These are the known issues which commonly will affect the CPU utilization need. First, if any user has reported, first we verify these services first, and then we will go further investigation. Before doing this, also we need to check this all the points which we have discussed earlier. We need to check these all the points from the user end. We need to collect this information. And today's topic to troubleshoot the issue virtual machine with Perf Insights actually. So what is the Perf Insights tool? It means what is it is exactly? Perf Insight tool will help us to troubleshoot the performance issues in Windows or Linux virtual machines in Azure, which we have hosted in particularly on Azure platform. So from the supported OS is from Windows level, it is Windows Server 2008 or 2012 or 2016, 2019, or Windows 10, Windows 10 or 11. So these are the platforms which currently supporting on Linux virtual machine. As my point of view, as of now, they may be eliminated 2008 R2. Earlier, it should be there. Now, 2012 R2 onwards, it is publishing now. They are. They may be going to stop 2012 R2 as well, because in that some of the client applications or new services which are currently coming up from the application and some services which are not supporting still. Supported OSs in Linux platform. CentOS 6.5 and later versions which are came after 6.5, they are going to support. Red Hat Enterprises 7.2 and later versions which are coming as of now, which are the latest version up to that is going to be supported. And Ubuntu 14.04 and later versions which are running in the latest, they are those also will support. And so which we have discussed for Insight tool, in that we have 5 options to uh, troubleshooting scenarios, which are these are those quick for performance analysis, and second one is benchmarking and performance analysis and advanced performance analysis and Azure files analysis. These are the 5 options which we have usually reflects on the Azure portal, and in this particular Perf Insights tool we have. And we'll discuss each and every point in that particular one, which we have discussed now. Quick performance analysis, we'll go and discuss what it is exactly. What it will do, person quick performance analysis will help us to troubleshoot these configurations, other info, event logs, network status, incoming and outgoing connections, what it is exactly running, and network and firewall task list for applications which we have allotted on the firewall level. What are all running? Is
This
there any
Pawan,
other ports running? Hmm.
is
Yeah.
it this one like quick performance analysis? Is it like additional third party software, or we need to like how we can approach this analysis in the Azure?
Yeah, we'll go and do that part practically. I will show you how to perform that. While we are performing the tasks inside using Perf Insights tool, so it will reflect actually these 5 options. So in this, we need to select any one to perform this options. So those
Okay,
are we are
based upon the requirement.
clearly discussing those based upon the requirements. We're going to be select uh, these options. So in that we yeah,
Oh,
in that we are going to discussing first one, quick performance analysis. What actually we are going to check by using the quick performance analysis? What are the things we are going to collect the information by using this option? By using this option, we will actually like pull up the information like event logs, network status, incoming and outgoing connections, and network and firewall tasks list for all applications, and SQL DBS settings. Is there any changes on that particular servers? Important hotfixes has been Windows hotfixes of the drivers like servers or every Windows system having some hotfixes. Is there any changes? We'll go and check. Installed filter drivers, we will check those. And these are the things we are going to check by using quick performance analysis option by using that. And the next one is benchmarking. By using this, will actually runs the disk PSD test. Like by using this PSD test, what will actually cover that IOPS, input and output, by what are the inputs are coming into the server, what are the outputs are coming out, going out to the server per second. We'll check that. And memory performance, memory bytes performance settings we are going to check by using benchmarking. Attach it to the machines. We'll check this. But this option we are not going to be used on production environment, because this is only will able to perform on only on the test and dev this kind of environments. So it is strictly restricted for production environment. And the third one is performance analysis. It will use it will be used generally performance issues such as iCPU, memory, and disk usage counters are specified in role engine. So actually, and the role engine will go on to specify the memory CPU utilization. If it is increased more than that, it get be triggered on this monitoring dashboard which has been provided from the company side. And memory and disk usage are come under, and it will save on the JSON file, role engine.json file. So we'll go and check those by using this option. And fourth one is advanced performance analysis. This will be used to troubleshoot more complex issues, and it is also restricted for production environment, because while using this, the maybe mission will be get stuck, or it may be utilize more CPU utilization. Because of that, it get be restricted on production environment. And the last one is Azure file analysis, and this is specially performance counter. This will help us to capture the network logs. It will support only in Windows. It won't support on Linux machines. On the last options which we have discussed, Azure file analysis, it only supports under Windows. So we'll go and check now. uh, we'll go and check now for the options, what are there in how to troubleshoot by using this. We'll log into the portal and we'll select the mission which has reported, virtual mission, Azure virtual mission. Inside that, let me, haven't enabled RDP. Let me enable that first. So here we'll actually, once we log into this Azure portal, once we have selected the particular Azure virtual machine, so we have an option called diagnosis and solve problems. So in this page, we have an option called diagnosis and solve problems. We need to
Mm.
select this. Let me start the virtual machine.
Pavan,
Hmm.
see, this is individually you are going into the virtual machine and you are
Yeah,
applying it.
as of now, we are going to discuss only how to troubleshoot the virtual machines using the portal,
Correct, I
using the
understand.
Azure portal, and we'll log into the virtual machine and we'll try to install the Perf Insights tool, and there how we are going to discuss. As of now, we are going to discuss only on the Azure portal, and next session we'll go and discuss how to install perf insights tool inside the virtual machine, how we are going to
No,
capture
not I'm
all the
asking.
information.
See,
Mm-hmm.
these all the tools.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have like 10 VMs are there, 10 VMs is having the same issue. At a
Mm-hmm.
time, I can't able to run with the diagnosis report for 10 missions.
Uh, at a time, no. Actually, that you can check on the monitoring services which has enabled. If you have any monitoring tool, from your end, you'll go and collect the logs from there actually. So each and every client,
Mm-hmm.
every company, they have their own monitoring tools. From there, you can collect the information like disk utilization, memory utilization, CPU utilization. But if you want to collect the counters, whatever counters you have configured inside the CPU or memory or disk utilizations, we can capture those.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, if like every VM it is slow means there may be chance that any patches or background patches or hot fixes it is going to be updated on the cluster side, not in the virtual machine side. There may be choice that which these VMs are hosted in that particular cluster or any hosted missions
Mm-hmm.
will be there on the back end. Maybe they are going to they are trying to update the patches on the back end of the cluster. So that time also maybe face the slowness because of updating patches or application patches if any running on that particular cluster. So maybe that is maybe a cause. So that time you will go and stop the patches on the particular time and will go and run next time. So we'll test it if any, like we'll test if they are informed that all the missions which are located on the particular cluster it has affected slowness. We'll go and perform this test like perfmon or which we have discussed on the earlier tools. Uh, Task manager, resource monitor, perfmon, these are the tools which we have discussed. We'll go and install these tools on that particular cluster and we'll go and test it. What are the effective, what are the services occupying more CPU, memory, and these things. Okay. Is it clarified or any doubts still? Hello.
Given
Clarify.
hello.
Is it clarified or still you have any doubt?
Clarified. But the thing is again, so what are the things if you have to be there in the monitoring cluster only you have to do it. So individual
Not
if is
monitoring cluster, not monitoring cluster.
no
The
no monitoring tools.
monitoring tool actually it will be installed on the particular. If suppose you have in a production environment, you
Mm-hmm.
consider that you have in a production environment. In that particular
Mm-hmm.
mission, the monitoring service tool will be installed on the DC or any other. If you have separate mission for the monitoring tool to install, they will install there. From there, they're going to capture all the environment logs by using that particular
Mm-hmm.
agent. Okay, so they will add the services and all the virtual machines to that particular monitoring tool, and they are going to capture those services. Those services will reflect on the monitoring application which are used by the company. So from there you can pull up the logs and everything. But still they have said that all the environment virtual machines are slow. So there may be a cause of the cluster with whatever the cluster is located on the Windows machine. If suppose they are using Hyper-V, so that cluster will be on the Windows Server machine only,
Mm-hmm.
right? By using that only, they are going to publish the virtual
Mm-hmm.
machines. So they will log into that particular that particular cluster virtual machine blade, and they are going to verify the services, the same the same steps which we have discussed here. So all these steps they will perform. Task manager first, they will go task manager and they will check, is there any services that are occupying more space, utilization, that CPU, memory.
Mm-hmm.
If there also they haven't find out any issues, they will go for resource monitor which are there in the task manager on the bottom. So they will perform this and they will try to identify the issue. If they are also they are unable to find, they are going to use like there are some tools. Perform. This is also one of the tools from the Microsoft. So they will use this also, or they will use expert from Windows ADK toolkit. By using that also they can do. Most of the companies they will go and use system-internal tools, Procmon, Process Explorer, this kind of
Mm-hmm.
tools to troubleshoot. This option which is there on the perform sites, it's only for Azure virtual machines, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not normal machines. This option which is enabled from the Microsoft is for only to troubleshoot the Azure virtual machines. Okay,
Mm.
so any doubt still?
Nothing is allowed.
Okay, once it isn't starting, so we'll go on the diagnosis and solve problems. Here, if once you came here, so you
Mm.
have an option called troubleshooting tools. We need to select this, and here you have an option called,
So here we have all
you
the
have
options.
here you have all the options which we have discussed on the previous session on
Correct.
the supporting and troubleshooting. Those all are
Uh,
options will available on the diagnosis and solve problems. In this, you don't have performance diagnostic option here. You
mm,
have that option also here. So we have two ways
mm,
to troubleshoot. Either you can select performance diagnostics, or you can come here on the option called diagnosis and solve problems. So
mhm.
once we select this, the under support plus troubleshooting performance diagnostics. So we need to install this from the back end. So to capture the things, before capturing this information, what we'll do, we'll apply an stress, I mean CPU stress on that particular virtual machine to troubleshoot, to explain that. So we'll connect with the RDP. For what using email password? Use it. So it's get updated. We try to connect with that. And before that, which we have discussed, task managers and performance, resource monitor.
Monitor.
I will, yeah, I will show here on my local machine how it is exactly. If you see, this is the task manager. We'll verify here power
Mhm.
usage, CPU usage, and the memory usage, disk usage, network
Mm.
utilization. If any Ethernets which we have enabled, virtual networks, then
Pavan,
Hyper-V virtual
see,
networks.
correct. See, whatever that you're trying to doing in task manager.
Hmm.
So, if is any organizations, they will handle the monitoring tool. Correct.
Yeah, they will usually use the monitoring tool, but these are
And
the
then
basic steps if they have
correct.
reported.
These are the basic steps of when the VM's login time. Correct.
Yeah, login time that it will come
The
usually like
question
this.
question
Mm,
is VM itself is not able to log in.
mm.
Then without login, how we can bring down to the normal resources? That is only the possible way for the monitoring tool, correct?
No, that is actually it will go and it will tell you the usage utilization of the CPU, memory, and those things, but it
Hmm.
won't capture the more of that applications, what it is exactly utilized. It may be captured, but we need to go on the depth on the monitoring tool.
Correct. Let's.
But instead of that, what they will do, see, because that is the option what we have discussed here. Uh, what does that performance diagnostics? If you go here, if you are unable to access the virtual machine of Azure,
Hmm.
so you are going to install this from the Azure portal. You're going to install this option actually from the Azure portal, which will it will actually install from the backend. So you don't have, if you have any service request number which you have raised up from your end to Microsoft, that number you can actually update here to pull up the logs. So you can add the symptoms here. What like now you are capturing like CPU utilization, right? We can give that name, so we'll update the support ticket number and we'll so whatever the option analysis options which we have discussed five, you will get here
Hmm.
with performance analysis, advanced. So we'll select these options here and we'll go. We are going to click on OK, and then it will get installed and show us the those logs. Based upon those logs, if we need to restart the machine, if any services are running, we have an option called run command, which we have showed earlier yesterday. Run command.
Hmm.
By using this run command, we'll go and perform this service to stop those particular services by using this option. So once we stop those services and we'll try to access the virtual machine, so it will get resolved your issue. Is it clear? You have still,
Okay,
I guess,
understand. No, see, I can
see,
understand.
you're,
This is
yeah.
when we are trying to doing individually time. So the
Mm.
thing is, the main thing, if you able to see the monitoring, the VMs is mandately is having issue with the resources like CPU utilization or RAM
That
issue or
time,
memory.
that time, what you will do, you will try to increase the uh, core, core CPU core or
Course.
memory,
So separately you'll go to that
memory.
OU and you'll increase their core without logging the
Yeah, you
VM.
will go and see without logging into the VM, you're going to stop the virtual machine. And if you want to increase the virtual machine size and the settings, you
Mm,
have an option called size. So you're going to select this particular virtual machine. If you need to increase the CPU cores or the RAM
mm,
or data disks, whatever the things you need to be increased, you'll select the size option and you're going to be update. But what it will happen, whatever the temporary data you may have in, maybe it will affect the data loss sometimes. Okay, so you can increase this from here. Under settings, you have an option called size. By using this, you can increase the CPU core, RAM, and disks.
okay.
Okay, okay. Today it is from
No,
here
no,
only.
no. One more
Will
topic.
mm,
See, one more option. While like this question also they will ask
mm.
tags. So it's like CPU resources increasing thresholding
So,
up to 100%.
so that is the tags which we are calling it as a counters.
Counters.
Yeah, counters. It means we are adding a counter saying that this much CPU utilization is increased, then I get to
Mm.
get a notification by using this particular email address.
Okay,
So
okay.
we have in every organization there is a monitoring team, so they are going to escalate the issue with the second level, and from
Then
there they're going to be perform these steps only. Again, they will do these steps only. There is
correct,
no
but
another steps.
monitoring tools means separately third party they will install it or like Azure monitoring tool is there, no? That also we can use it.
Azure monitoring tool we can use, or if they are using any third party tool, if they need to be monitored on-prem and as well as cloud. So
Mm-hmm.
there may be option called PRTG, and as well as we have Site 24 into 7, Kasaya, Traverse. So this many tools which we have. Lot of third-party tools are there. Apart from that, those tools we can easily link it to the uh, by using agent. Every tool there will be
Mm-hmm.
an agent. So we are going to install that particular agent onto the virtual machine. So we can
Okay.
actually it will get captured those information.
Okay.
So time is ending up.
We'll
Three
discuss
minutes
on
is we'll discuss
for
remaining things
second part
on
two.
part two. So it get installed. So if you see that we still have 3 minutes, we'll go on to check. We may be covered. So, so see if you see that once we run this, we have an option called performance diagnostics, which we have run.
Mm.
So it will show us here if any impact has happened, like high impact, based on our threshold limits or counter limits, it will
Mm.
going to be reflected here. What is the impact that got exactly? So if you click this option, it will show us what is the impact level. Medium, it's showing 1. So these are the, so if you see here, this configuration as the medium impact. Knowledge
Mm.
basis analysis, it is taking low impact. So based on this, we are going to be take the
Mm.
action. So if you click here, you'll get more reports and all. So if you see here, L1 terminal faulty migration. Because of this, you're getting that utilization thing. So like that only if you, these are the insights. Here you will get information. Here you will get the CPU utilization and the impacted services. Still there is no impact, because of that it is not reflecting here.
Mm.
So memory, if it has any memory utilization is more, it will get here. And the storage, say as we discussed the median, this is related to something which is not configured properly. Um, Physical drive 0 has an issue, so partitions. So because of that, it is showing that if any network things which are related, it will reflect here. Any operating system related issues, uh, it will reflect here. See, if you see here, it is in low, because of that it is not reflecting. So depending on the workload, there may be noticeable performance impact. So if any SQL services which is impacting more, so that it will actually reflect here. And .NET, any .NET code or
But
applications or
correct,
anything.
understand. But the
Yeah.
thing is, if we in this VM, if we
Mhm.
install the additional softwares, that also it will appear here, na performance diagnosis report.
Yes, you will get those programs here as well.
So what are the basically what are the applications we install? It will highlighted in the report.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay, this much only.
Okay.
And we'll going to run the diagnostics, and will if you want to run another performance test, you will go and run those based on your requirement. So and you will get the logs. Based on the logs, you're going to be taken action. So that's it. So
Okay.
for this, and tomorrow we'll do one thing. We'll try to apply the stress on the CPU, and we'll try to
Mm.
install the Perf Insights tool inside the virtual machine, and
Mm.
we'll discuss about how to troubleshoot the issue by using that particular tool after installing the virtual machine. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.